Hey guys, let's chill and hang out together again. So, I haven't gone to any cafe because, have you seen the prices lately? Like, a coffee is at minimum $6. Uh, it's almost, some coffees are more expensive than bubble tea now. Like, I would rather go and get bubble tea that at least has, like, tapioca or jelly and and get more bang for my buck than go to a cafe, pay $7 for an iced latte that's filled with ice. Yeah, so instead we will be frugal and make our drinks at home because why not? It's gonna taste the same. It might even taste better because you get to customize it however you want. So right now I have a hojicha iced latte in my cute little flamingo glass cup mug travel thing. What would you call it? Like a milk jug? A mason jar jug? I have no idea what you would call this, but it's like, yeah. So it's from Dollarama. we're really frugal here. Um, and the hojicha is microground hojicha from Genuine Tea. I don't know if I should say the brand. I'm not sponsored, but I would love to be. Yeah, so, and if you want the recipe, it's basically just as much hojicha as needed to get this color and uh, condensed milk. Condensed milk to taste until it tastes slightly sweet or however sweet you want it. And then a bunch of milk and ice. A little bit of ice. That's it. It's good. So, what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about the progress I've made so far. I don't know if I will publish the video I filmed last time, but if I don't, then let me just recap. So, I was sick with strep throat for pretty much 2 weeks in February, and that really knocked me out. I couldn't even look at my phone. I was that sick. So I had to take a break from content creation and editing and publishing videos. So that's the reason for my hiatus. And because I was so sick and had to take a break, I kind of fell off track. It was hard to pick myself up again and like continue content creation. Yeah, so I've been struggling to get back into a routine. I don't even have like a good routine. I don't have a system in place to actually do the stuff that I need to do and want to do. So basically, I've done a lot of, I guess, prep work and reading and researching, you would say, to formulate the best routine, best system to put into place to actually be as efficient and productive as possible. It's kind of hard when you don't work for someone else, when you're not, in an office setting and people don't give you the schedule you're supposed to follow. You basically have to create everything from scratch on your own and create your own discipline, your own routine, your own system for working. Also, since I've never worked anywhere in an official, capacity in terms of like office work, I've never been in a situation where I've had to create a system, a routine, and iterate on it. School schedules always change, and the school itself has its own schedule, course schedules and whatnot. So, it's easy to be spontaneous in school, but when it comes to work, you need to stick to a routine and a system. Anyway, so I have to start from scratch and create a system and routine that works for me, where I can get focused work done, and actually move in the right direction, and be as productive as possible. So, to do that, I've read a couple books. I finished reading Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I think that book is essential to read if you need to change your habits and create a system that works in your favor, instead of being mindlessly controlled by your habits. You don't want to be a slave to your habits, your unconscious systems. And yesterday I came across a great video. It was very timely, by Dr. K, HealthyGamerGG. Thank you, Dr. K. That video was very spot on for my situation. The video is called The Self-Loathing Man of Inaction. Now, I'm no man, but it's still, it's the archetype of the self-loathing man of inaction that matters. And as Dr. K said, it's not that you're not acting, it's that you're acting in the wrong direction. So if you're in a similar situation where life is just not going in the direction you want it to go, if you have a lot of shame and resentment and anger towards yourself for not doing the things you wish to do, if you feel like you're stuck and you can't do anything, if you feel like you're always in this limbo space between your desires and your fears, you can't really let go of your desires and you can't really let go of your fears, if you can't act in the direction you want to act in spite of your fears, if you're unemployed and you've just been stuck for a long time, then I highly recommend reading the book Atomic Habits and watching Dr. K's videos. Not just the video I talked about. I do recommend starting there, but many of his videos are relevant and helpful, and he actually provides solutions and step-by-step action steps to start to heal or change your life for the better. So HealthyGamerGG is a life-changing channel here on YouTube, so highly recommend. So I am what you would call a self-loathing man of inaction. I've been inert for 5 years now, and I haven't had any source of income. The only time I've made money for myself was for 2 months. I've only made money for 2 months. working as a barista in a cafe. I would personally say that what I'm doing is working. So I don't know, I don't have an income, but I used to be a NEET, NEET, not in education, employment, or training. And when you're unemployed, when you don't have any sources of income, when you're stuck in your ways of, I guess, inaction, wrong action, when you're acting against your long-term desires constantly, and you're always giving in to addictions, distractions, escaping reality, it really fuels the shame and the shame cycle, and you feel embarrassed and disappointed and ashamed of yourself and frustrated and angry. It's not easy to share with the world the situation I've put myself in for the past 5 years. But I think it's necessary because I think a lot of people are in similar situations. And, you know, when you're in this situation, in this kind of situation, you're basically a social outcast. You've outcasted yourself from society because you don't participate in it. You basically feel too ashamed to participate in society, so you cast yourself out of society, and society reciprocates. Society also sees you as a social outcast, and because of that, there's like this stigma around being unemployed for a long time, being stuck for a long time. And I think we tend to hide the underlying problems and issues we're facing with the mask of depression or anxiety. Being depressed and anxious is a valid and natural consequence of acting in the wrong direction. Being depressed and anxious is a natural consequence of acting in a way that doesn't benefit you in the long term. You have created, well, I don't want to say you specifically, I'm talking about me, but if it resonates, then you as well. I have created a life for myself that makes me miserable. And obviously, a life that makes me miserable will make me depressed and anxious, because there is no emotional fulfillment. I don't have a social life. I don't have emotional fulfillment. I don't have any satisfaction. I don't have any meaning to living. There's no, I haven't created meaning for myself. I haven't created a meaningful and fulfilling life for myself. So obviously, I'm going to feel depressed and anxious. And talking about depression and anxiety as the thing to solve, I don't think that's helpful in my situation, or if you're in a similar situation. Addressing your actual life and solving the problems you've created for yourself with how you live would solve the depression and anxiety you have. It would, at the very least, minimize it significantly to the point where you might not need medication or whatever. And I'm not saying you don't need therapy. I think everyone needs therapy. Everyone needs different modalities of therapy. So I'm not saying, if one specific type of therapy didn't work for you, try a different modality. Maybe CBT doesn't really work well for you, but EMDR, whatever it's called, maybe that would work pretty well for you. So I do recommend therapy if you can afford it. I unfortunately cannot afford therapy, and I think a lot of people are in the same boat. Everyone needs therapy, but most people cannot afford it. So I would say really consume and put into practice the knowledge that you can find in books and online. Like I said, I highly recommend HealthyGamerGG on YouTube, Dr. K. There's Therapy in a Nutshell. There is The Holistic Psychologist. And there are practical books like Atomic Habits, The Courage to Be Disliked, Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. But the key thing here is to actually put the things you've learned into practice. Reading Atomic Habits and then not creating a system, not changing your habits, it's a waste of time. Don't waste your time reading a book if you're not gonna at least try to put those things into practice. So all it takes is increasing your self-awareness and increasing your intention, the strength of your intentions, the strength of your decisions. I've been fumbling, but ever since I've firmly decided in August to go for content creation, the intention I set was firm. There's no going back. It's like entering an intersection. You can't back out of that intersection. You have to turn or you have to go straight, right? So once you set the intention to change your life for the better, you have to keep that decision as a promise to yourself. It's like an unbreakable promise. And you're not promising to change your life in a specific time frame. Don't limit yourself to like, I will change my life in a single day. No, but like, if you set the intention to change your life for the better, you're in an intersection. You cannot back out. You can slightly change your direction. I'm going to change my life this way. I'm going to change my life this way. But you can't not change your life. You know? When you're in the situation I've been in, it's really hard to make that type of decision because you just want to escape reality. You just want to numb yourself and not make a decision. Like, everything in you is telling you to not make a decision. Well, not everything, but like the strongest part of you that you've cultivated, that you've developed, is telling you to not make a decision ever. Like, it's fine being in limbo. Being in limbo is our comfort zone. So don't change, don't make a decision to change, just stay in this limbo space. And so making a decision, setting the intention to change your life for the better, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's very hard. So I get it, but the longer you go without making a decision, the longer you go without setting the intention to change your life for the better, the longer you will stay in that limbo space. And unless there are unforeseen circumstances like the death of a family member, your landlord kicking you out, your job firing you, your parents cutting you off, unless you're forced out of your limbo space, you will stay in that limbo space for as long as it takes. You can die in the limbo space. So as long as you don't set an intention, as long as you don't make a decision, you will stay in the limbo space for years, decades, and nothing will change. Like, we hope that something will change outside of us, but it never does. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to wait for a chaotic change of circumstances to force you into action. You don't want parents to cut you off. You don't want the landlord to kick you out. You don't want painful, chaotic, uncomfortable situations to force you to act. So you really have to decide to change your life for the better, you really have to set the intention and enter the intersection. You can't back out. So that doesn't mean you're going to change 180 overnight. That doesn't mean that everything's going to work out for you perfectly and that you're going to magically have the best life ever in a short period of time. I've been actively fumbling towards changing my life since August. It's not easy, and it takes time and effort. But because I didn't back out, because I decided to change my life for the better, I've come across books and information that actually will help me. So after setting the intention and deciding to change my life for the better, no matter what it takes, things have slowly been working in my favor. I have unintentionally, but in a pretty good way, started to read books pretty frequently. I've finished 3 books in the past 3 months, and I've come across videos on YouTube as well as the books I've read. I've come across information and knowledge that will actually help me move forward more efficiently. And I have every intention of putting the knowledge I've gained from the books and YouTube into practice. So what have I done? What progress have I made? So according to James Clear, we should write out the current habits that we have every single day. Now that's difficult for me to write down because I don't have a very fixed schedule, but I do have habits that I consistently do. My entire day basically consists of waking up between 11 and 12, making/eating breakfast, checking my phone, opening up my laptop, getting distracted by the things online in my laptop, doing some work, but it feels like busy work. The work I do on my laptop, I don't think it's actually productive unless I'm editing and publishing a video. And then I make frequent trips to the kitchen, either to hang out with my mom or eat lunch, make a drink, whatever. And then I either go out for a walk or I continue to distract myself on my phone or my laptop. And then I either make or eat dinner. And then I put away the dishes. And then after dinner, it feels like relaxation time. So there are times where I feel like I should be productive and I'm either studying on Coursera or trying to find ways to be productive, or I'm distracting myself on my phone or on my laptop, or I'm watching a show with my parents. And then I get ready for bed, and then I have to distract myself with my phone again before I go to sleep by reading webcomics. Yeah, so I basically spend the majority of my day either in the kitchen or distracting myself on the phone or on the laptop. And once you enter the kitchen, it takes at least an hour to leave the kitchen. So I'm not using the kitchen as an excuse, but the kitchen does take up a lot of time. Yeah, that's my current schedule. Not much. And now the progress I've made is I've actually created the system I should be following instead. And as Dr. K said in the video I just mentioned, it's time to go into Unga Bunga mode. Unga Bunga mode. Monk mode, if you will. I've written down the schedule I should follow, the system I should have on any given work day. to actually move forward in the right direction. I'm not going to show you my step-by-step system, but basically I have to get up at 9, start work at 9:25. I've basically decided to create 35-minute work blocks. I guess Pomodoro method, but instead of 25 minutes, I would prefer to work for 35 minutes. It gives me a little bit more time to actually focus and get into like a flow state, hopefully. So I've decided to create 35-minute work blocks with either 2 or 5-minute breaks. If I don't need to take longer breaks, then after 35 minutes of work, I'm just going to take a 2-minute break and then move on to the next 35-minute block. But if I need a longer break, then it'll either be 5 minutes or I would be eating a meal, breakfast, lunch, for 15-20 minutes. And that would be my break. And I basically plan on doing four work blocks of work on Miss Nicheless, my content creation, and I plan on spending 4 work blocks on content creation for a different channel, which will involve making digital art from scratch, no AI, and making music playlists on YouTube with the art as the backdrop. I guess similar to Blue Turtle, except there won't be any animation for now because I don't know how to animate paintings. I will be dedicating 4 work blocks to my art channel, which will hopefully be running soon. I already have the channel name for it, and I will let you guys know once I have my first video up. I will tell you the name of my channel, and I will be dedicating 1 work block to writing, 1 work block to learning something new. For now, that is Coursera. I have a Coursera certification program that I'm doing, the digital marketing and e-commerce certificate program. I need to finish that, so I will be dedicating 1 work block to that. And I will be dedicating 1 work block for exercise 3 times a week. What else? So basically, in total, I will be spending the first 7 hours of my day working. I didn't think it was going to be that much when I started writing out the system, because like in total it's only 2 hours of work towards Miss Nicheless, 2 hours of work towards my art channel, and then a total of 1.5 hours on writing and learning something new. So it's only like 5.5 hours of actual work, but once you add in like breakfast and lunch and like the small little breaks in between, it becomes a 7-hour workday. So I'll be starting at 9:30 in the morning and ending at around 4:30 p.m. And I will be working 6 days a week. And obviously for this to work, I have to prepare my breakfast every night so that I don't waste time preparing breakfast in the morning. And I also have to prepare my equipment the night before. So if that includes charging my camera, I have to charge my camera. I have to, prepare my bag. If I need to take a shower, I take a shower. So all the prep work will be done after dinner. If you don't prepare for the next day at night, you end up wasting a lot of time during the day, and we don't want that. We don't want that. So I will start putting this into practice officially this Monday, which will be March 10. Yeah, March 10. And I've tried to wake up early today. I couldn't really do that because I was too busy reading webcomics last night. So I will have to restrict my phone use. I don't know if I could do that on my phone. Like if I can set like a time interval where I can use my phone and certain apps. I don't know if I should take drastic measures and like be bored out of my mind and delete all the apps that I just distract myself with, or if I should still use those apps but limit myself to after dinner and before 9, like between dinner and 9 p.m. I don't know if I should do the gentle approach or the cutthroat, you're gonna be bored and struggling approach. But in any case, I will be putting this system into practice and see how it goes. Obviously, that starts by going to sleep early on Sunday. If I can't be in bed by 10:30 p.m. on Sunday without looking at my phone, it'll create a negative ripple effect, and that will just delay my progress even further. So I pledge to be in bed by 10:30 p.m. this Sunday without my phone and be asleep by 11 p.m. hopefully so that I can wake up at 9 a.m. on Monday, this Monday, March 10th. I guess that's all. That's all the progress I've made so far, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other videos, and please consider subscribing to my channel. I would very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.